as you can see, I'm an entrepreneur. I loved Shark Tank. So every Friday I used to listen to Shark Tank. I was in a box, so you can't see it. You got to listen to it on headphones. So Friday is the day when they come with the decisions. So the decision came in the mail. I grabbed it, tossed it to the side. Fuck that. I'll look at that shit after Shark Tank because I don't want it to fuck up my Shark Tank. So I listened to Shark Tank. I worked out, got myself all sweaty and all that washed up because I'm like, get some bad news. I'm going to take my ass to sleep. So, boom. Grabbed it. It felt thicker than usual. So I'm like, shit, that ain't good. So I sit down, cross my legs on the bed, opened it up, and it said, "Dear Mr. Bunting, congratulations." Like I'm starting to feel it even now. And I couldn't finish reading the page. Like the tears, and it's like a cleansing because it felt good to be able to show emotion. I was so dead inside, it felt good, like you're awakening part of my humanity, part of my spirit. And I started choking. Like I was gasping for air. And God was like, "Yo, what's going on?" Like, what's like, cause like I really like it was, and you know they call me Force. They're like, "Yo, Force." So I was like, "Yo, that's Force." Like, "Yo, what's up? What's wrong? What's wrong?"
Hyperventilating.
Right, and they was like, "Yo," cause they know that that's the decision day, so they know I went to the board. They was like, "Yo," I was like, "Yo," they let me go, and dudes went crazy, started banging and shit. And I was like, that's fucked up. I'm going to fuck around and die because they let me go and I can't fucking breathe. So I'm saying all this to let y'all know that I do have emotion. It's certain things that trigger it. And like I go and I haven't done, COVID, but there's times I'll go to schools. And I go and I'll give presentations and I'll talk to people and I'll tell them about myself and my life and things. And like, I'll look out into the audience and people's be ready to cry. Like some have teary eyes and all this. I'm like, damn, I told them about me. And I like that. I like to be able to connect to people and let them know, listen, I've been through this and I survived.
Your eyes got watery just now.
Yeah, it did. And I like that.
I like that too. I mean, I appreciate that, man. I'm able to, I'm able to vibe with you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Your eyes did get watery. You held it down though. You're strong. You probably thought about something crazy. So let's get into and thank you. Let's get into because how did you end up getting locked up? Like how did they? Yeah. G, can you?
No, we skip past that.
Yeah,
Okay.
G, can you take over that for me, G?
Nah, it's already
Nah,
out
G,
there.
come
It's
on, hold
good.
me down, G.
It's already.
You actually better than me.
No, I just feel like I hate when you do this, bro. Nah, yeah, we definitely skipped past that. We went from the guy in the car, back seat, jumped in the front seat, and then we jumped to the to you being in prison. So
Right.
How'd you actually get caught?
Okay. There were people out there. And one of the people that was friends with the deceased ran to the deceased family house and told him, listen, this dude is out there with his guts hanging out. Boom. So when the police came, that's what the family said. This person came, told us he's out there with his guts hanging out. So, of course, the police going to go talk to that person.
Right.
So it's a female. She was a crackhead. So the female went and talked to, the police went and talked to her and took her to the precinct, showed her a photo array. A photo array is basically a book that has pictures, mugshots of people. So she said Force. She said the name Force. She went and picked out a picture of somebody named Steven. This is important. So my name was known as Force. throughout the projects and all that. So when the police get me, it's like, all right, they put me in a lineup. She picks me out of the lineup. So now she has a photo array picture of someone she's calling force that she picked first, and me in a lineup. Okay. Now, the day I got arrested, my co-defendant had my car. I had the car. As far as the car is in my name, it's my car. Now, I'm going by my paperwork. It's not like I was there. The day that I got arrested, he got pulled over and got a ticket. So when they pulled him over for making an illegal U-turn, they asked him for his license and registration. He hands them my license. But it was I had a temporary license because I had just passed a road test not too long ago, and I hadn't gotten the one with the picture yet. Yeah. So when he handed him, he said, "Are you Johnnie Bunting?" He was like, "No, Johnnie Bunting's home asleep." And it's like, "All right, so who are you?" So he put school ID. We were school kids, like that age. I was 17, he was 16. So he gives him his ID, and he gave him a ticket, sent him on his way. But when he goes to the precinct later on and they're talking, they mention that Johnnie Bunting got arrested for murder. And he was like, "What? I just pulled a car over that belonged to him." And they're like, "Well, listen, if you see that car again, pull it over because it may have some evidence in it." Now, I don't know nothing about this, but as an intellectual, nerdy type dude, I'm thinking, as I'm locked up, I call, "Listen, take my car home. Leave it there." Because I know that it was fucking used, and that's just common sense to me. So I'm like, take my car home, leave it, bam. No, they want a joyride. So a few days later, I think that's the 5th. I got locked up the 1st. On the 5th, they're driving around, police pull a car over. Now, they had already spoke to more witnesses, and my uncle was one of them. So my uncle knows who I am. My uncle knows who my co-defendant is. My uncle said his name. So the instructions was, when you see him, get him. This other guy's in the car. His name is Arthur Alston, a.k.a. Choke No Joke.
Was he your co-defendant?
No. He was just in the car. So my co-defendant gets arrested. They take them to the precinct. They tell my co-defendant, "You have the right to remain silent." Arthur didn't get no Miranda warnings because Arthur wasn't under arrest. Arthur goes in the precinct and starts singing like the Pointer Sisters.
But why? What made him go to the precinct? What made him go to the precinct and start singing?
I guess fear, because the police taking the car, taking the guys, and then next thing you know, the interrogation process. This is me guessing.
Oh, assuming, okay.
Right, because he told me that they threatened him.
So you spoke to him?
Yeah. After, I didn't know he went to the grand jury or none of that. This is stuff that I found out after trial.
Okay.
But I call a block because I hear, such and such got arrested, my co-defendant. So I'm like, the girl that was with us, she's the first person that told me he was telling, and I didn't believe her. And she, because he said, "I don't give a fuck about something like he don't give a fuck." I don't remember the actual verbatim what she said, but the way she interpreted it, that he was telling. But I wouldn't take her word for it because I'm like, you wasn't there, He didn't have. I know he didn't have nothing to do with it. So in my head, if they take you into the precinct, you gotta walk out because you ain't did shit. So that's how I'm looking at it. Like, he didn't do nothing. Like, they ain't supposed to arrest him. Boom. Time comes when it's come time for trial. I catch up with him because we know people in common. So he like, they forcing me to come to court. I'm like, listen, you ain't got to come to court because my uncle didn't come to court. I'm like, my uncle's not coming to court. You ain't got to come to court. This crackhead is coming. She said, this dude did it and I did it. As long as nobody makes her word strong, I'm gone. You got two different IDs. One of them was not me, and that was the first ID. So that one has more precedence over the second ID because that's the first one you identified. The second one, you could just say, well, it looks like the first one, so she made a mistake. You understand what I'm saying? So this dude, and this is me, transcripts at trial, me learning stuff. He was coming to court numerous days. Like, he was coming to court on days when he wasn't testifying just to be prepped. The prosecutor will get you there and they'll take you through whatever questions they're going to ask you and your answers and so on and so forth. And all these days, now, there's a brother that I know, that we know, that killed somebody, and he went to trial and he got found not guilty. Now, he was home at the time. So when I see him in court with him sitting next to him, I said, oh, yeah. Because when he said he had to come to court, I was like, okay, well, you got to sabotage. All you got to do is say, we went to the motel, me and the girl went in, I left you with the car, you left, you never saw me again. Simple as that. All right. So when I seen him sitting next to the dude, I'm like, oh, this dude, he definitely ain't going to snitch with this dude here. I guess I was wrong. He could have, like, my offers were 10 to 20 and then 7 to 21. Now, had I known he was going to do all this, I could have copped out. Like, I could have been home over a decade ago. But me thinking that he was going to keep it thorough, and I'm rolling the dice on the crackhead's identification. Now, to anyone who thinks, okay, well, you killed him, you should do the time. You might be right. But if for someone that I've looked out for, that I've helped put money in your pocket, you shouldn't be the one that put me in. You should be the one that say, listen, I'm going to let you roll the dice, but I'm not going to be no parts in sealing your fate. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That makes sense, right?
It makes sense to me, yeah.
Because when you're dealing in the street life, and it's not like I'm in the streets anymore. I'm a legitimate businessman, but I still know the code in the streets. If you're dealing in the street life and you're getting that illegal money and you having your little gun confrontations here and there, you got to leave it there. You got to leave it in the streets. Even if it ain't got nothing to do with you, you're dealing with that code. Like, listen, all right, well, damn. Like, when you're not in the street life and you're a regular civilian, 911 is on your speed dial. That's your friend. And I don't got no beef with you if you call 911 because that's how you do things. It's like when you have your job, I can't tell you how to do your job. This is your protocol. The street has its own protocol. When you go against that protocol, you are labeled a rat, a snitch, a tattletale, stool pigeon, or whatever you want to call it. But that's what it is. Yes.
What was your relationship with Choke No Joke prior to that?
Me and him wasn't buddies. What happened was his building that he lived in was one of the main drug buildings. For whatever reason, he wasn't one of the chosen that could come out there and do his thing. Because stuff started getting a little strict around the projects where people were starting to get more territorial. They're like, yo, listen, you, if you ain't got somebody packaged, you ain't out here. So he was broke anyway. One of my boys was cool with him. And he had asked him for money. And so he came to me like, yo, listen, Artie, because that's what his name is Arthur. We was calling him Artie. Like, Artie needs such and such, boom, boom, boom. You want to get a half. I'm like, all right, Boom, I'm gonna lend it to him, and you can sell it here. So I opened the door for you. I didn't give you a key. You only wanted a half. I gave you a half, and I let you sell it here so I can get my fucking money back. I opened the door for you. Now, it's not me and him. We didn't go way back or nothing. As I already told y'all, I was living in Connecticut for a little while and all that. Me and him wasn't in public school together or nothing. But because of that, then he started being around. Because I'm letting you sell in the area I'm selling at. And now he had a driver's license because he's older than me. So he had a driver's license. I had the temporary joint. And it's like, all right, well, he could drive the car, this, that, and the third. He's one of them funny dudes, stand around in the cold or whatever, he entertaining and, you know, a little gossip. He really ain't changed much since then. And it's like, all right, cool. But still in all, even though we wasn't tight, I did you a solid. I did something that the guys in your building didn't do. So I should have got a better treat. My hand didn't call for that. Not from him. See what I'm saying?
If he was a Samaritan, though, like if he was he in the streets like that, or was he a Samaritan?
He was a guy that I helped put a package in his hand. He was in the streets.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was. He was doing something prior to that. It wasn't like this was his first package. So don't like the guy transitioning from a Samaritan to the streets and then, oh shit, the water's hot. I'm telling. No.
Okay.
He was out there.
He was already in the streets.
He was already in it.
Okay.
He just was fucked up. You like how I said, fell off. Guys get in there, do a little dibble and dabble. They may work for somebody. Their boss get locked up. I don't know what his situation was, but he was doing something, and things got rough. And I was there to help him.
You helped him, but you didn't hang out with him that much.
No, he started hanging around because I allowed him to sell drugs in the area. So then he started being the lapdog, the lackey. He'd be there.
So let me ask you a question. So the guy, but he saw, you guys saw the guy, he saw the guy, what happened with you and the guy, they were watching from the car.
We went around the corner, so he didn't actually see the actual, he said in the transcripts that we chased him around the corner, he ain't see nothing else. That's the truth. We chased him around the corner, we ain't see nothing else. Then he starts saying, I came back with blood on my shirt, got it right here. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You shouldn't have said none of that, but you're doing too much. One thing that I want to clarify for everyone in this room and anyone that's watching, when you come to court, it doesn't automatically make you a snitch. It doesn't. Now, when you're dealing with the street life, you shouldn't come to court. But if you do come to court, then it depends on who are you coming to court for. He came to court for the people of the state of New York versus Johnnie Bunting Jr. Mm-hmm. So that's telling you the two sides. He's there on behalf of the people. So that means you are against me. Now, here's the thing. Did he say he saw me kill him? No. If you say you saw me chase the guy around a corner and then you have somebody else saying they see me kill him, you just connected the dots. Because this other person had identified somebody else. He said he saw me go around a corner, and when they asked him about our relationship, like, yo, I knew him for some years. So if you knew me for some years, your identification of me trumps that of the crackhead who don't know me at all and just saw me in a neighborhood and says, okay, well, it could have been the guy in the picture. It could have been him. But I seen somebody do this. Yeah, I knew this dude for years. He ran around the corner chasing him. Understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's called corroboration. You corroborated it. You gave that crackhead credibility, and you made her testimony strong.
Now, what was his reasoning for? Thank you. What was his reasoning for snitching?
Exactly. What was his reason?
His reasoning, according to what I was told, is that he was forced. They was threatening to lock him up and charge him with murder. That was. But if you didn't do nothing, you didn't do nothing. So here's the thing, and this is just me, my legal mind. Everybody doesn't know this, but if you know you didn't do something, and they say you got the right to remain silent, you got the right to an attorney, then get a fucking lawyer. You ain't got to pay for it. You just got to have somebody speak up for you because you know you didn't do it. It's one thing as if he did anything. Like if he came out the car, gave him a kick, like you did something. You didn't do shit. You got out the car from the back seat to the front seat to drive. Ain't nobody charged you as being no fucking getaway driver. Nobody said that.
Hold on. Ooh, wait. Come on, man. You smart. You smarter than that.
Right.
Once he drove you, you know he became a part of that. You know that.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
That's the law. It's not what I'm saying.
right.
That's what the law is saying.
And yeah, but no one brought that up.
Sure? Is it?
I'm sure.
You sure it's not in that paperwork?
It's not. It's not in here.
I like you, Force, but come on.
You can go through it. We can read it together. We can turn this into a sermon.
Force, you sure? Because you can be. What's it called? What's it called? It's a word
acting
for it.
in concert. I know the law, bro.
Okay, all right.
I got a degree in paralegal.
I'm not questioning Force. Force, slow down.
All right,
Come
all
a little
right.
strong on me, Force.
I've been carrying these papers for 30 years.
Is the parts that he told? Is it?
That's a part of the first. That's a part of a statement. That very first page.
Okay.
That has and this was delivered to me at trial. They surprised me with that. They didn't even let me know. I didn't know he was snitching with any statement other than what the girl tried to tell me.
Okay.
Until I was in the midst of trial when that paper came out and it's slashed and let the.
I mean, so where's his statement at?
All right. You see it says facts.
Yeah. At the time and place of occurrence, defendant Janice Jackson, a.k.a. Bandit, previously arrested Johnnie Bunting, a.k.a. Force. Eyewitness Arthur Alston and a girl named Ebony were driving around in Bunting's Honda looking for that guy, a.k.a.
Right.
Yeah. They saw him near Salsa Park. Bandit and Force got out of the car and ran after the guy. Bandit came back with a bat in his hand, and Force had left the car with a beige knife pouch in his hand. Beige knife pouch, okay. Blood was on Bunting's shirt. All drove away. Bandit put the bat in the trunk.
Now,
A
what did it say
stenographer
next?
statement taken in the beginning. And Force was holding a beige knife pouch.
Hold up, you just skipped something.
No.
Stenographic statement taken beginning at
stenographic statement
11:55
taken.
p.m. Statement of eyewitness.
Okay, sorry.
Bam.
Arthur Alston, sorry. Force was holding a beige knife pouch, sheath in the car. I consulted with Frank and Supervisor Alan Karen about this case. Karen indicted the previous arrested Bunting.
I gave Alston a grand jury subpoena for Thursday, June 8th.
Note that another eyewitness, Mr. Simmons,
That's my uncle.
who was now Our Lady of Mercy, who is now in Our Lady of Mercy Hospital with pneumonia, ID'd in a photo was a stray. This defendant, Array, sorry. I didn't see the A, it's crossed out. Photo Array was at a hospital on June 5th, 1989, 1 p.m. Okay.
And that also, even though I didn't get you to a second page, you see an eyewitness will view lineup tomorrow and has seen a photo array and picked out the defendant saying the photo looks like the culprit. That was somebody else. I have to pee very badly, so we need to take a pause. I've been holding this.
Let me look at this. Yeah.
Y'all gave me this water too?
Yeah. You keep your voice up so everybody can hear you. Draw your attention. First, do you recall where you were approximately 6 o'clock in the morning? Answer, yes. And where were you? Baychester Avenue in the Bronx. Question, I am sorry. Baychester Avenue in the Bronx. I guess he had to speak louder. And could you tell the jury exactly where you were? On Baychester Avenue in the Bronx. Were you on the street? No, I was in a car. Okay, what kind of car were you in? A Honda Accord. And what color was this Honda Accord? Blue. Do you know whose Honda Accord you were in? Yes. Who was it? Johnnie Bunting. Could you tell the jury who was in the could you tell the jury who was in the car? Other. What? Me, myself, a girl, Dennis and Johnnie. Dennis and Johnnie? Do you know Dennis' last name? No, I don't. Do you know Dennis by any other name than Dennis? Yes. What do you know him as? Bandit. I am sorry? Bandit. And Johnnie. Do you know Johnnie by another name? Yes. What do you know him as? Force. What? Force. Now, can you tell the jury where was it this car was traveling at about 6 o'clock in the morning on June 1st in 1989? Answer. On Baychester Avenue. Did there come a time withdrawn? Do you know a person by the name of FC? I don't want to say the person's name out of respect for the family. I don't know him personally. I heard of him. Okay, did there come a time when you saw this person FC? Yes. And were you in a car at the time? Is that correct? Yes. What happened when you saw this person FC? I seen him running. Okay, were you still in the car at this time? Yes. And did you see Force and Bandit? Objection! Sustain, don't lead. Tell us what happened when FC was running. He ran around the corner. Was anyone running behind him? Objection! I will allow it. Can you repeat, please? Was anyone running behind FC? Johnnie and Dennis were after him. And you say they went after him. Can you describe? Objection! Overruled. You said they went after them. Can you describe what you mean by that? They went after him around the corner, and I didn't see no more after that. Now, before earlier than 6 o'clock in the morning, you said that you were in the car with Force and Bandit and the young lady. Is that correct? Yes. Did you see anything in the car? Objection. It's very general. Overruled. You want to be specific? Well, did you see anything in the car other than the 3 people you mentioned yourself? You answer. Want to be specific? Yes, yes. What did you see? What do you mean, what did I see? Did you see whether or not Mr. Bunting had anything in possession at the time? At the time? Yes. What do you mean, when he got out the car? No. Before he got out the car? No. You didn't see anything in his hand? Not. Objection. Sustain. Before 6 o'clock in the morning, earlier, did you see him have anything in his possession? Earlier, when he came back from the car, earlier, when he came back from where we were going, it was a pouch in the car. And when he sat in the car, he had it in his hand. He picked it up. He was in the car, and he picked it up, and he sat down. Can you describe what type of pouch it was? A beige pouch. Could you show us approximately the size? Size of a pencil. Can you hold up your hands? About this size of a pencil. Hold it up a second so I can have the record reflect the witness is holding his 2 hands, one above the other. I would say about this size, okay? About this size, yes. Let the record reflect that the witness is holding a pencil. Will you stipulate how long it is? Mr. Albert, whether you say approximately 6 to 7 inches. 6 to 7 inches, all right? Question, Mr. Alston. Is his name Alston?
Yes.
Alston. How long have you known the person you was in the car with? How long have you known the person who was in the car with you, Force and Bandit? Since high school. And approximately how many years is that? About 2, 1.5, 2. Now the person that you said Johnnie, you also had known him to be Force. Is that correct? Yes. Wow. Do you see the person here in the courtroom? Yes. Could you point him out to the jury? Sitting next to the lawyer.
See, these are the things that the prosecutor does to convey to the jury. So he's gone along with that shit, even though he might not think he's doing damage. You confirm my nickname is Force. You said you know me for 1.5, 2 years, and then you point or stipulate. You single me out. So this is the game.
Now, let me to continue, please.
All right.
Force. Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right. Now did there come okay? Now did there come a time when you drove the vehicle that you were in at one time? Yes. And where did you drive the vehicle to? Co-op City. Did there come a time before you got to Co-op City that the defendant got back in the vehicle? Yes. Did you see the defendant get back in the vehicle? Yes. And did you happen to notice his shirt? Anything unusual about his shirt? Yes, he had blood on his shirt from his nose was bleeding. Oh, hold on. Blood was on his shirt? Yes, the nose. Hold up.
My nose wasn't bleeding. This is motherfucker lying. He making shit worse for me by lying.
Hold up, hold on. And his nose was bleeding. I object. The jury attorney repeating what he said, what the witness said, unless he repeats the whole thing. I have no further questions. You may cross. But hold on. But he said your nose was bleeding. So come on. Force.
All right. So what does that mean?
Force, hold up. Force.
That means I went and killed the dude and got a busted nose in the process.
Force.
Come on, bro. This your cousin?
No.
All right then. Like let's keep it real.
No, I'm just saying. Nothing about cousin, but you said that he told on you, and it says his nose was bleeding. Your nose was bleeding.
What that got to do with him being on the stand for the prosecutor? Because that's what telling on me means. He represented the people in putting me at the scene of the crime, identifying who I am. He corroborated with the crackhead. These are the things. These are facts.
Okay, I see that. I see
so me having a bloody nose, which I didn't, and I'm saying I didn't not because of an ego. I'm just saying now you're putting extra shit in there, thinking that you're helping me, but all that's telling me is that you told him I have blood on my shirt. Right? This dude is dead around the corner with his guts hanging out. I got blood on my shirt, and now you're trying to say, oh, it's from a nosebleed?
So you think that he told the police that it was from the crime, but he tried to flip it in court?
I'm sure he did. And it's not like I actually have proof, but here's the thing. He was going to there. If you keep reading, when my lawyer cross-examined him, he asked him something about how many times like you've been there. So you'll see that he's been to the prosecutor for several days getting prepped. And you go through preparation of the questions and your answers and so on. And they ask you questions based on whatever statement they got from the police. So the sheath, the pouch is because like that little piece of a statement at the beginning, it's like, okay, you said I had that. So they're trying to get it out. That's why the lawyer kept objecting, because it was like you kept trying to lead him. If you're going to tell a story, let him tell a story. But you keep trying to lead him, so that means you're getting stuff out of him that he already said. You follow me?
I'm following. I'm just reading. Hold on. I just gotta be. I gotta just
I don't mind you not taking me.
Austin for the people.
Yeah, for the people, not me.
No, I take. What do you mean? You don't mind? I'm not taking you. I'm taking you for what you said. I have to ask these questions. I have to ask the questions.
No problem, brother. No problem. Continue.
Yeah, I have to ask these questions because it's inquiring minds wonder. Mine.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not saying you're lying. I don't think you're lying, but I have to ask these questions because I'm trying to see what you said just made sense. But if you didn't explain that to me, I would say, but hold on. I read a paper where the man said you had a bloody nose, so did he really tell? But then you explained something to me that I'm not aware about. Okay. You know more about that than I do.
The truth can withstand cross-examination, brother.
He cooperated, because he did say he knew who you was. He did say, so I see what you're saying. You're saying that the fact that he said that's false and the crackhead said what she said, he's corroborating that when she said, yeah, he had blood on his shirt. Yes, he had blood on his shirt. Then he just tried to add blood on his... I got it. I see what you're saying. So he tried to add something that he didn't need to add because he already said what, sort of like him and this crackhead story aligned itself. But he tried, because you were there, he tried to switch it up, but it didn't. The damage was already done.
Exactly.
Got it.
He could have went to court, went to the trial and be like, I don't know what's going on. Kept it.
He could have did that as well, right?
He could have done that. The problem with that, because I was trying to tell him that, he was like, well, now I'm going to get charged with perjury, this, that, and the third, because he already gave a statement. And then when you come in and you try to switch it, it's like, yo. Yeah. So I told him, like, listen, this is what you do. Like, my uncle, rest in peace, they caught him in a hospital because he had pneumonia, and they talked to him. Whether or not he was on medication or whatever, they got something out of him. But when it came time to court, where did my uncle go? My uncle didn't come. That's it. I said, yo, the worst case scenario, you don't come to court. They give you a fine. I'll pay the fine, man. Fuck, don't come to court.
He did give, but I did see that they asked him. He said that he did give a statement.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh. What's the statement behind here?
No, the closest thing I have to a statement was this little bit of stuff.
In the front,
because I give you in essence what he said. I never got an actual physical statement from him till this day, but I know he made one.
So, in your opinion, do you really feel like he snitched because he had something against you, or he just kind of got scared?
I think fear was a part of it, but I think there was something deeper, because I'm pretty sure if I was someone else, one of the people that he held a little more dear, that little bit of fear you still would have been able to say, yo, don't come to court, and he wouldn't have came. So it could have been something deeper. I don't know. Sometimes, you know how you can do something and someone interprets it deeper than what it was, and they don't tell you. They hold it against you, and you don't find out till the knife is in your back. Like, damn. So, like, God knows, but I know that I've done for him.
Right.
Now, if I'd done something that rubbed him the wrong way, he should have said, I know he's feared me, but still, there's a way. Even if you fear somebody, there's still a way that you can present, like, hey, listen, man, here's what's up, man. You did such and such. It didn't make me look too good.
What did you do to him?
I didn't do shit to him. But I'm just saying, in general, if I did something that...
Force, stop. Stop again. Force, come on, man. You know you did some shit to him and you trying to clean it up.
Nah, I ain't do
probably
shit to him.
embarrassed and violent. And Force, come on. Force is me, man.
He embarrassed his motherfucking self several times.
Force is me, bro. It's me.
I ain't even fuck with the dude. Like, if
This guy could have played for. Force. What you did? You violated him? You just son him?
He was a son already.
Force, did you use it? Force, I need you to admit something to me.
If anything, he was my grandson, because he wasn't my son.
Whoa!
G, don't do that. That's not funny. Force.
Yep.
You know.
You like that, right? He likes that.
Yeah, that was good. Nah, I don't like that because that was too good. But what I'm trying to say, I think in your mind, you had a lot of time to think about it. I think that you know that you might have did something to him, because you have to think, why would he do it?